Hi everyone, I'm Nitika Chopra. Welcome to nitikachopra.com. I'm here with my dear friend Amanda from Amanda Rose Wellness. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So excited. And the reason why I wanted all of you to hear from Amanda is because if you've been following me on Instagram or on my website or anywhere on the web really, you've probably heard me talk about my struggles with my body and the fact that I've had arthritis for about 15 years now, and movement and getting to the gym and working out has always been a really challenging part of my life. And recently I decided that I wanted to make a change in that area. So that's where Amanda comes in, because I really wanted to work with somebody that was really specific in the way that they approach their workout, their training, and working with their clients. So for me, Amanda, it's always been that my health and my body has always made me feel like I didn't want to move. I didn't want to have movement as a part of my lifestyle. It never made me feel like I wanted to jump out of bed in the morning and run or go for a bike ride or a class or anything like that. And a lot of that is because of the things that I've been through in my own story. But with you, it's completely, I feel, the opposite. Mm-hmm. And you've also been through your own set of challenges that have actually brought you closer to wanting to move.
Definitely.
And use that. So can you tell us first a little bit about your story?
Absolutely. Well, I just want to say thank you again for having me. It's an honor to be here. So I had the unfortunate childhood of being bullied. But now, in hindsight, it was actually a gift, because that kind of bullying propelled me to do something for myself. So when I was about 13 years old, I asked my parents if I could get a membership to the YMCA, and I just felt compelled to move. And it was a way for me to work out some of these emotions and to make me feel better about myself, because for many years I was told I was not good enough, not pretty enough, not skinny enough. But since then it's evolved quite a bit, and my journey has evolved. So I've done everything from powerlifting to running. I became a champion boxer for many years. I then evolved into a yoga teacher and now a dedicated practitioner. So it's always been my go-to to feel good about myself, to work through my emotions. Anytime I've had a challenge, the first thing I would do is to move my body.
That's incredible. Well, I know she just like lightly glided over the fact that she won a championship for boxing.
Yes.
She's like this tiny little beautiful glowing being of light, and she won a championship for boxing. I don't even understand that. Nonetheless, in Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
It wasn't just like in her backyard.
In my hometown.
Okay, yeah, in Madison Square Garden, which is incredible. So that's really interesting to me, just everything you said about how being bullied and going through all that emotional turmoil made you want to move, because honestly it did the opposite for me. And I know that a lot of people out there have that same issue where you know, they go to their couch more than they do a treadmill, and that's just their way of coping with it.
And just to throw this in, I didn't play sports as a child. I wasn't an athletic kid. I wasn't on any teams. I was more of like the homebody arts and crafts kind of girl. So it wasn't necessarily natural for me.
Okay.
I just had this instinct as a young girl that I'm going to try movement.
And when you tried it, it just like you just couldn't get enough?
It was amazing.
Okay.
I didn't know what I was doing. I had terrible form. I mean, this was going back now almost 20 years ago.
Right.
So fitness is not what it is today.
Right.
And luckily, when I was 15, my parents gave me a gift of working with a trainer. They bought me 10 sessions with a trainer. She was a female. She was a bodybuilder. And again, we're talking about where a female trainer was a rare thing.
Yeah.
So she really instilled in me good form, proper technique, and then from there I've had great coaches and mentors and other trainers, and I really tried to keep myself a student and learning about movement and the body and all things fitness.
That's amazing. So for all of you out there that are maybe, I mean, just to be honest, I look at Amanda and I'm like, oh my God, how am I ever going to be like that? Because that is a desire that I have. Absolutely. Like, it's a desire that I have to wake up in the morning and be the kind of person that, you know, instead of spending my whole day on my computer, on my couch, and, you know, getting takeout and all of that, I actually start my day with a great walk in Central Park, or I go to a yoga class first thing in the morning, and then I get to work. But it seems very far away from me. It feels like it's out there somewhere, and there's just like no way that I could ever achieve that. So working with someone like Amanda has been a gift because it's really about taking baby steps towards it. And I wanted to make sure that you shared with our women out there especially, but men are watching too, I know.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. All the men and women out there that are watching, how do we do this? If they're like me, or even, further along on their journey, or haven't started even more than I haven't, how can you start?
Well, I first want to acknowledge that you have the desire.
Right.
So that's really important, to want to do it, to want to commit to this life. So an easy way to start is to do it first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Because if you wait till the end of the day, you're thinking about it all day, it becomes this like insurmountable thing. It energetically is so draining, as opposed to just getting up in the morning, and even if it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, a walk, you throw on some music, you dance, you do a little yoga practice. It doesn't have to be this big thing, but I find first thing in the morning, get my body moving, I'm awake, I'm alert, I'm clear. It sets the tone for the day.
Yeah, that's perfect. I do find that makes a huge difference when I've done that. So, okay, great. So what's your next tip?
The next tip I have is to find what you love. There are so many forms of movement, especially now with the boutique fitness industry, classes. There's something for everyone.
Yeah.
And working out and movement shouldn't be grueling, something that you hate, something that makes you feel like, oh, I have to go to class tonight. It should be like, this is amazing. I'm so excited. This is invigorating. So I suggest experimenting. Try different things, different instructors. Find what resonates so that you're excited to go.
Yeah.
You're not dreading it.
Yeah. And I think that's true even if you're trying to find somebody to help work with you. Like, that was a huge thing that drew me to you, because I've worked with personal trainers before, and then I've also worked with someone who was just a yoga instructor before, or just a Pilates instructor. And the thing I personally really love about you is that I found someone finally who also is a doula, and not that I'm pregnant, but I'm just saying, it's like nice to know that she has that awareness about the body. And you're also a yoga instructor, and you're a trainer, and you're a boxing champion. So it wasn't just,
and that's just a reflection of that tip I just gave. I constantly explored. I did different things. I tried different things because at each stage of my life I needed something different. And for right now, it's yoga. I need the yoga. At another chapter of my life, it was the boxing. I needed to hit things. So I go with the evolution, and I keep trying. And like I said before, I tried to stay a student and experiment.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so what's your third tip?
My third tip, it's kind of a mantra.
Okay.
If you don't move, you die. And I know that's a little intense, but if you think about it, when you don't move, there's a heaviness, there's stagnation, and the mind tends to follow the body. And if your body is not energized and alert and awake, the mind tends to follow that. So just something to be mindful of. We mold the body to mold the mind. And it really begins with the body. So
if you don't move, you die. I think that should motivate a few of us, if nothing else.
And it can be just in the energetic sense,
right?
Of course. But also we know movement and physical activity has tremendous health benefits. You live longer, you reduce the risk of illnesses and cancers, and it's something that you could take great pleasure in and have those endorphins.
Absolutely. That's great. Okay, so what's your fourth and final tip?
My fourth and final one is to practice, practice, practice. To just show up for yourself every single day. Again, it could be 5 minutes, you throw on music and you dance. It could literally be a walk in the park. So to just keep at it, it's going to be emotional, it's going to be challenging, you might get frustrated, you might fall off for a day or two. Just keep showing up. And eventually, it's going to become a habit, and it's going to become something that you take great joy and pleasure in. Because on the days you don't move, you're going to feel it. And that heaviness feeling is going to motivate you to keep showing up, to keep practicing, and to keep moving.
I would say that's so true. I know for me, especially when I've had some of my tougher months or moments, and the only thing I can really muster up is to go for a walk. I thankfully live right near Central Park, and I also live close to the water here in New York City. And sometimes that's all I could do, but I would try to make an effort to say, okay, at least once a day, even though I have arthritis, even though my bones are hurting today, I'm going to just go for a walk. And a lot of times I would bring a friend or, bring some music or a cool podcast.
Also great tips, bringing a friend, having great music.
Doing it with a buddy.
Really helpful.
So helpful. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Amanda.
so much. Thank you for having me.
Of course. It was so great to talk to you. And really, I wanted to do this video with Amanda because I have struggled so much with making movement a part of my life. And, the first thing we talked about was having the desire. And I think in the last year, 6 months, the desire has just grown more and more as I'm getting older. My weight doesn't stay off as much as it used to. My bones are even stiffer than they were before. All of those kinds of things are changing. And I just feel like with the right support, you can make it fun and it can be accessible. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have tips for how to create movement and make it more a part of your life, Amanda and I want to hear about it. We'll definitely both be answering any questions in the comments below. You can find out about Amanda and everything she's got going on right below this video. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to love yourself first, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.